Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Meteorologist Danielle Miller here, and we are talking about our next winter storm, which it does look like is already knocking on our doorsteps as we've got some light snow falling. This is a live look outside over in York Township, York County. Of course, this is just outside of our station, so I encountered these flurries on my way back in this afternoon. And if you are out and about this afternoon, you're also likely going to be encountering them. And then tomorrow really going to be our big problem day, or at least tomorrow morning when it comes to some of this winter weather. So we're here to get you through it. If you are tuning on in, go ahead, drop me a comment. Let me know where you are watching from. That way I can say hello. That way I can get you that best forecast for where you live. We're going to get you through this storm just like we have been. It's been a really active pattern the past week and a half, and it looks like we're going to continue with it as we go on through the rest of this week. So let's start with the here and now. Outside over in York Township, we've got clouds and we've got those flurries, and those flurries are falling in many spots across the area already. I've seen a light coating on some of our cars, on some of the sides of the highways, and some areas that aren't being driven on a whole lot. So that is something we're going to be mindful of for any of our evening commutes. If you're at work today, maybe your kids do have school, we're going to watch out for some of those problem spots as we go throughout the rest of our afternoon or so. Temperature wise, as we look at the temperatures across the board, we have not moved a whole lot. We are well below freezing. We are in the 20s. York, you've got 25, 27, the popular number from Carlisle to Harrisburg, Lancaster, and Lebanon. So temperature profile certainly supportive of the snowfall that we are seeing. And really the next couple of days, we're not climbing above freezing. So we are going to be pretty supportive of some of this snowfall headed our way. I see Michael tuning in from Fredericksburg. Hi, Michael. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. Again, if you are watching, drop me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Here's a look at satellite and radar right now. You can see some of the white indicating some of that snow in parts of York and Lancaster counties. I don't think the satellite and radar image, though, picking up on the whole picture, because we are seeing flurries across the area in more spots than what you're just seeing right here. Let me double check some of those reports. I've been keeping an eye on my app on my phone. I'm seeing reports of snow from Harrisburg all the way up in parts of Perry County, New Bloomfield getting some snow right now. And obviously you're not seeing a whole lot of that on radar. So the snow either too low or too small for radar to be picking up on all of it. But it is falling, and it is here. Now, some spots where we are seeing even more snow and some more significant snow. I've seen some friends down in Washington, D.C. They're getting a good bit of snow right now, at least for them. They haven't gotten it in quite some time. Down towards Richmond, they are getting some reports of some snowfall, all the way out towards Roanoke, Virginia, and parts of the Mid-Atlantic and out towards the Tennessee River Valley, all getting some of this snow. Here's the setup. We've got an area of low pressure developing over the Carolinas, and you can see we've got this stalled boundary around it. This low is slowly transitioning off the coast. And to be honest, something we've been worried about, this low is a little bit far away for us for a typical best snowstorm. This is an ideal setup. We've got some dry air from the north, and that could be a factor in this forecast, and we'll still certainly be tracking it. But this low to our south, combined with some energy from the upstairs, high up in the atmosphere, that's what's giving us the snow, making it all the way to our neck of the woods, and that's what we'll be watching as we go over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. So here's the latest alerts. We've got that winter weather advisory in place. This starts at 5 p.m., so just about 2.5 hours from now, and that goes until noon tomorrow. So this evening until lunchtime tomorrow, everyone's got to be prepared for some of that winter weather. And we did get some updates compared if you were watching Andrea and I this morning on the morning show. Mifflin and Juniata counties were not included. Well, we've slightly seen an uptick in some of those forecasts from the National Weather Service, and they're anticipating you to be at least under that advisory criteria at this point in time. So you have been added to this list. Everyone in our area now included for this winter weather advisory. So let's time it out on Futurecast. Futurecast not really showing these flurries and the light snowfall we have right now. It really picks up as we go on into the overnight time period. So around midnight and later, that's when we're going to continue to see more snow showers moving across the area, starting off scattered in nature, but then becoming a little bit more widespread in the snow department as we go right on into your morning commute. Here's a look at 7 a.m. Kids back to school, you're back to work, and we've got some snow. So the morning commute tomorrow, we're really going to have to be mindful of some of those, slick roadways covered in some snowfall. It won't be a ton of snow. We've certainly seen worse, but it's impactful nonetheless. Snow continues through the mid-morning time. Here's 10 a.m. and then tapers off into a couple scattered snow showers by lunchtime. And then through the afternoon, we should be in the clear and looking mostly dry as we go throughout the rest of the day. So this is really a first half of your Tuesday problem before we look at some drying as we go through the afternoon. Snow accumulations, this is the map we've been going with, 1 to 3 inches, with the caveat that highest totals are going to be south and east of Harrisburg. So we're talking York and Lancaster counties. You guys likely seeing closer to that 3-inch range, and some of those lower totals, northwest, Mifflin, Juniata counties, Lewistown, areas up near Juniata, you guys likely seeing closer to that inch to 2-inch mark. And sure, some isolated spots might be a touch higher, but overall, this is what we are expecting, 1 to 3 inches of snow. And when it comes to the snow, we're expecting a light and fluffy snow. This isn't a break your back shoveling kind of snow, thankfully. This all has to do with the temperatures that we're keeping an eye on. And when it comes to that snow ratio, most computer models, the average forecast is going to say that for every 1 inch of water, you're going to get 10 inches of snow. Well, we think that ratio is going to be a little bit higher. This snow is going to be a little bit colder. So as you can see here, as soon as you drop your temperature from about 30 to well below freezing, maybe in the teens, that snow ratio goes up. So an inch of water might mean 19 inches of snow. It might mean 15 inches of snow. It varies drastically, but we are expecting colder temperatures. We are expecting a drier, fluffier snow. So hopefully impacts are a little bit more minimal because it's easier to clear. That's something to watch. Of course, when the temperatures are closer to freezing, that's when you're going to get those lower snow ratios, and that's when you're going to get that break your back kind of wet snow that is good for snowballs, but not so fun when it comes to shoveling. So that's something that we're going to be watching tomorrow when it comes to that quote-unquote fluff factor with the snow. If you have any questions as I'm going through this forecast, please drop them below and I will be happy to answer what you are looking at or talking about. Let me know where you're watching from. I want to keep going with this forecast if we don't have any questions. Looking at your travel impacts for your Tuesday, well, again, the morning time is really going to be that time where we see the most impacts. That's when the steadiest snow is going to fall with the system, so I'm expecting moderate travel delays for your Tuesday. Keep an eye on those schools in case they start to issue those delays, and we'll of course be on Fox 43 Morning News running those crawls at the bottom of the screen to let you know what schools have canceled or delayed or whatnot. I do anticipate travel to get better through the afternoon, so maybe still some issues through the early afternoon, but then certainly some improvements by the evening and overnight as we look ahead. So travel worst on your Tuesday. I would, maybe if you can do a work from home day, do the work from home day, or at least give yourself the extra time and the extra patience as you are out and about on the roads tomorrow. We're also going to watch as some winds pick up through the afternoon, not near the advisory criteria that we saw all over the weekend, but certainly breezy. We'll see those winds gusting near 25 miles per hour for your Tuesday afternoon, plus these chilly temperatures that are going to be below freezing, and because of that, the wind chill, it's going to be cold. We're feeling like the 20s all day long on your Tuesday, so things are going to be definitely pretty cold. Bundle up all your winter warm weather gear. You're going to need it, and we're staying pretty chilly over the next couple of days. Wednesday looks to be the coldest. We're not breaking out of the 20s on Wednesday, and then as we go into Thursday and Friday, highs are up in the low 30s, which is below average. Our average high this time of the year is 38 degrees, and we have seen continued warmer than average temperatures as we have started the new year, so we are finally getting a taste of some of that winter chill that we haven't seen so far this year. So here's a full look at your forecast. Again, we've got temperatures for your Tuesday hanging out in the 20s and 30s, feeling like the 20s though when you factor in the wind. We'll be tracking that light snowfall for you. We'll be on tonight with the latest, and then Andrea and I back with you tomorrow morning. We'll get you through that morning commute. Wednesday, sunny but cold, 15 in the morning. 27 in the afternoon. Thursday, we'll start to see some clouds build. Temperatures a little bit better. Highs are up in the 30s. And we are tracking another system headed our way for Friday into Saturday. Looks like some more snow headed our way. Looks light in nature right now. We'll be able to keep you updated and get you some snow totals later on in the week. Behind that, we are talking another bitterly cold weekend with temperatures in the 20s all day Saturday. Looking pretty breezy and blustery through the weekend as well. And continued cold at least into the beginning parts of next week. So that's a full look at your forecast. Of course, you can always find the full forecast on fox43.com/weather. I'm seeing some comments. Clarence says, let it snow. I'm in the same boat with you, Clarence. I would like some snow as well. Karoom says, thanks for the update. Doesn't sound too bad. I don't think it's going to be too bad. It's just the problem that it's falling during the morning commute tomorrow, so we are going to be mindful of that. Again, if you can stay off the roads in the morning time especially, it might be your best bet. If I don't have any other questions, I am going to wrap this up. We don't have a typical show this afternoon. We are actually airing the Hershey Bears game, but I'll have a weather update during the Bears game, and then Chief Meteorologist Brian Long will be back with you later on this evening. I believe the Emmys are on tonight, so they'll be on a little bit later than normal, and then we're back with you to get you through it tomorrow morning. Thanks so much for tuning on in. Have fun in the snow, and stay safe.